there was a period, I think in like 2016, where I became semi-obsessed with Antarctica, and I watched like as much stuff on YouTube or whatever as I could possibly find because I was like, there's something going on here. I don't know what it is, but they're definitely hiding something in Antarctica. There's like this supposed Nazi base there. The Nazis were interested in it and stuff like that. I'm like, and then you got Admiral Richard E. Byrd, who says he, flew to the North Pole or flew to the South Pole, Operation High Jump. I'm sure you've heard about Operation High Jump. And that it's all very, very fascinating, but it's kind of also how much of it is put out there to mess with us.
Exactly. That's what I thought with the Nazi base side of it. Like, what's easier to say
Yeah.
to us to believe, make us believe than a Nazi base?
Well, there's something too, because they say that when they fled Germany, they fled to Antarctica, or sorry, fled to Argentina, which is, it's sort of close to where they said that base was. So, I mean, it's possible, but I haven't seen it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of at this point where anything online can be faked. I think they've had these deep fake technologies and Photoshop type technologies for 30, 40, 50 years. I think since it's here now. Like they always say that, the governments and intelligence agencies have stuff that's 50 years advanced. It's okay if, well, 50 years ago from today is, 1973. And it's like, okay, well, how much of that is fake? What came out around that time? The Zapruder film, the JFK assassination. And there's a lot of people that say that's fake. So it's, how much anything digital today is real, I don't know. But yeah, Antarctica, I mean, if you subscribe to the flat earth theory, it is a big ring around everything. Um, which I mean, it's possible. I don't know, but to me, I feel like if it's a big ring, we can, that's a huge area that it's a massive, massive, massive circle, like a massive diameter of space. So you have to go all the way around that whole thing. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, there's a lot of talk about extra land. Like I'm sure you've seen the maps, right? Where you got us in the middle, and then a ring, and then more land, and then another ring. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, to me, I just with flat Earth, I just know that it's not the model that they're telling us. I don't even say that for sure I'm a flat earther because the Earth could be a massive, massive sphere that we can't tell. Like 8 inches per mile squared is a lie. 8 inches per mile squared is not true. That's provable at this point. It's not true. So what, is it a massive, massive sphere? Is it flat? I don't know for sure. But yeah, one of the big things this is the number one thing that I tell everybody when I talk about flat Earth is one, I don't know for sure that it's flat. I'm not technically a flat earther. And two, you can see with your eyes how their model doesn't make sense. Because their model is okay, we're spinning on our axis at 1,000 miles an hour. The Earth is spinning around the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. Interesting number, too. And then the solar system is spinning around the galaxy at 400,000 miles an hour. And then the Milky Way is spinning, however, million miles an hour, whatever. And if all of that's going on, all this movement is going on, how do we see the same formations of stars in the sky night after night for as long as there's been recorded history? We have the pyramids that are, how many structures around the world are in Orion's belt? Structure like Orion's belt. There's so much stuff like that. All the recorded archaeology or astrology and stuff, or astronomy. Geez, it's there's no way that that model is true and all the stars in the sky just stay the same. There's no way that's possible. Period. The North Star, it stays in that same spot. Like it moves very, very, very slightly, but it stays dead north.
Hmm. I think what you, I'm pretty sure you mentioned it on your episode where it was like one of the first things you're told as soon as you get into the education system is the world's round and this is the way we live. And then throughout the rest of your journey, that's drilled into your head. So whenever you approach anyone with any other theory, whether it be flat Earth or anything at all, they're always quick to say no because that is one thing that they've known their whole life. So it's like one of the things: can they let go of it? We don't know. Or but then the a bit deeper than that is more and more that I find out now, I find out that they were wrong in what they taught me through my education system. Not all of it's completely wrong. Some of it's just sort of misled. They've just sort of tweaked the information that they're saying or how they're saying it to make you think one way about something. So why not? Why would we just think that they're right about the solar system? Why would you think that information is correct? And I'm not saying it's round or flat. I'm just saying I don't know. It could
Exactly.
be either.
That's the thing is we don't know. Anybody saying that no, it's definitely flat, they're, you don't know. You don't know unless you're going up and you've been, if you've hit the firmament and you've been way up there and you can see as far as you can see and it looks flat, fine. Or unless you're outside of it, whatever. But we don't know for sure. That's the thing is too, is I don't think well, I know we're not meant to know everything about this realm. I think if we constantly just run that hamster wheel of just trying to figure everything out and gain all of the knowledge, we end up learning basically nothing. Because it's just you're just trying to focus so much on the world, and especially the way they've manipulated every bit of knowledge at this point. It's like, what can you trust? For me, like old books, I think are the most trustworthy thing. Like books pre like World War II, because I feel like modern history is kind of like pre and post World War II. Well, then pre and post 9/11 too. But now it's pre and post COVID. They constantly have these events throughout history where it's like there's a clear before, clear after. Jesus, they're before Christ, after Christ. It's they set these hard lines in the sand where they basically do these massive whatever, some sort of massive operation of some kind that changes the world forever. There's evidence that they used to teach flat Earth back in the day. Not in America, but yeah, so one of those things, like you said, it is, you go into every classroom, there's a globe, there's a flat map, that just looks like the globe placed on a thing. That's the number one thing. What I see now with so many kids is the two things that, like, boys, they teach boys about space and they teach boys about dinosaurs. Like how many kids' shirts or clothes or whatever, it's like dinosaurs and space and stuff. And I haven't seen any evidence that dinosaurs are real. I don't know if you've looked into that much, but there's a lot of weird stuff with dinosaurs. Like if the Smithsonian, all of the dinosaur skeletons that are in museums are fake. All of them are. And then they ask you, or you ask them, and they're like, "Oh, we have all the real stuff in the back or whatever." And then there's no real stuff though. That's the thing. It's all, large other bones or something. And I think if there were dinosaurs, they were simply just very large reptiles or something like that that lived alongside man. I think that there were a lot more larger, and I think people were bigger. I think animals were bigger, plants were bigger. Some of these they look like small mountains or even hills or something. They look like giant petrified tree stumps. Have you seen those? Um, what's one? I think it's Devil's Tower or something, I think is one. There's one in like a desert in like Nevada or Arizona or something. And you look at it and it looks like a massive petrified tree stump.